What's up, guys? Welcome back to the multimedia channel, your favorite sports channel. Of course, I hope that you're having a great weekend. I'm having a great weekend, at my end. So I want to thank all of you who are already subscribed to the channel. To those of you who are yet to subscribe, please try and hit the subscribe button, and remember to like, share, and react to, by way of commenting to the post that I share. All right, so it's the Premier League, guys. The Premier League is back, and it's goodbye to boring weekends, goodbye to weekends that nothing is happening, and I mean in terms of sports, of course. I don't know how many of you are as excited as me, ahead of the start of the new Premier League season, and of course it's Manchester United and Fulham that would begin the first match of the season, and we'll get to see what happens in that very crucial encounter for Manchester United, especially given the fact that they made quite a number of signings. So losing a match, as far as I'm concerned, in the entire Premier League season wouldn't really make sense for the fans across the world. So there are quite a number of things to talk about as it concerns the Super Eagles players, the search for a new coach and all of that. But then before I get right into what we have, I want to do some sort of recap about what happened in this week, starting of course with Real Madrid, who have won the Super Cup in that match against Atalanta. I think 2 days ago. I mean, Real Madrid are simply unstoppable. There's no way you can stop this club. They have victory running in their veins. They are just simply positive. So they won, the Super Cup a record 6 times, making them the club to win the highest number of Super Cup trophies, a record 6 times. And then Mbappe, actually grabbing his first goal for Real Madrid in that final against Atalanta in the midweek. So he has basically won his first trophy with the club. I mean, and then the fact is that Real Madrid, as far as I'm concerned, is the most star-studded club in the world currently. You in one club you have Mbappe, you have Vinicius Junior, quite a number of super talented players in that team. So it really makes a lot of sense, and it means that if Kia is not taken, they will go ahead to win the Champions League again. And I don't even have doubts when I'm saying this, because they found a way of winning every team that they play against. I mean, you recall how strong Atalanta was in that Europa Cup final against Leverkusen. Lookman, of course, grabbing 3 goals, a hat-trick in that match. But then in this game, it was disappointing for Lookman. He didn't really get enough chances to make an impact. But of course, you can't take away the fact that he's had a superb season himself. So congratulations to Real Madrid, congratulations to Mbappe, who has already started winning trophies in less than a week or two that he joined the club. But then you have players who have been in clubs for years and they never even smell anything. So it's just a sign of things to come for the Real Madrid striker. So like I said, the EPL is back, of course. We're looking forward to a very exciting season, Premier League season. We'll get to see who wins the Premier League this time. Definitely it's not going to be Man City, if you ask me, because clubs like Manchester United are in for business this time, and I believe that Arsenal is better prepared to actually win the Premier League this season. But we'll just wait and see what happens. The fact is that you can't really write off any Premier League club as things stand. I mean, Chelsea, they've made quite a number of good signings. Man City, nobody's left behind as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, so so there was this video making the rounds about Manchester United fans in Uganda who, they held a rally to celebrate the start of the new season. I mean, it's crazy how people can really be, excited ahead of the start of the new season, because of course it's going to be goodbye to boring weekends, to boring Sundays, you understand. So of course you're certain that every Saturday and Sunday that is coming up, there is a match to look forward to. Yeah, so moving on to what we have, of course, as it concerns players of the Super Eagles. So we appear to have got a new striker, apart from Victor Osimhen, in the person of Uche Santos. He is the new Getafe striker. He actually scored in his debut game against Atletico Club yesterday in the La Liga. Uh, so he plays a lot like Victor Osimhen. He has his kind of strength, and then saw that superb header that he scored to actually grab a draw for his Getafe side. So the striker actually took to his ex to celebrate and to thank God for the opportunity and for grabbing a goal. So the thing is that about 2 years ago, Uche used to play in Imo State, but so you could actually see how where consistency and of course God's grace has actually taken him. So I think available information have it that he used to play in the third division, in Spain, and now he's been bought by Getafe, and then he's already started working for them. So he's one striker that we must look out for rather, in addition to Victor Osimhen. The fact is that there are quite a number of Nigerian strikers, players generally, who are doing well across Europe. But usually the problem is that the media doesn't really beam its searchlight on them. So it looks like there are just a few of them, Victor Osimhen and Ademola Lookman, that are doing well. No, no, no. There are many of them. And you discover that if the media begins to focus on them, you get to know that we have a pool of talent, from Nigeria, across the world. So congratulations to him and for grabbing a goal. I wish him well, in the season and in many more seasons to come. Yeah, so moving forward, the Super Falconets actually met with the Minister of Sports, Senator John Enoh in Abuja today, ahead of their departure to Colombia for the FIFA Under 20 World Cup. So the team are in the same group with Germany, Venezuela, and then Korea Republic. I really wish them well, ahead of the start of that tournament. I know they would do well. So generally, our female team have always, performed well. It's just our male team that I don't know what's happening. The thing is, they usually do not have this whole issue around, coach and all of that. So they are usually, more straightforward and then coordinated in their activities. So we wish them well, ahead of the tournament. So moving forward, the NFF actually at the course of the week remembered Samuel Okwaraji, who tragically, passed on while playing the FIFA World Cup, qualifier, versus Angola on August 12th. So we're joining the NFF to actually remember the player and then his family. Yeah, so moving forward, there are clear indications that the Minister of Sports is actually considering Samson Sisia to take over as coach of the Super Eagles, following the expiration of his ban. Recall that Samson Sisia was banned for match fixing in 2019. So it was to last for 5 years. So basically, it was even a life ban. But I mean, after some considerations, it was reduced to 5 years. So it has ended this year. So he's currently being considered, to take over as coach of the Super Eagles, especially given the fact that this search for a new coach continues, and then the Super Eagles have quite a number of matches to play ahead of them. So they need someone who can really step in to, control activities and all of that. I feel like Samson Sisia wouldn't be a bad idea, talking about the coach of the Super Eagles, particularly given that there've been this, question around really giving a local individual, the opportunity to actually do well for the club. Of course, the fact remains that Finidi George, who was there, actually had to step down because of controversies and the idea that the players were not really respecting him. But I feel like if Samson Sisia gets that opportunity, it's going to be an entirely different story, because he's got the capacity. I feel like he's going to command the respect of the players, basically. So moving on, Nigeria's senior women's football team, that's the Super Falcons. have held on to their 36th position in the latest FIFA Global Ranking, which was released on Friday. Not really encouraging. I expect that they would have moved forward, but at least the fact that they didn't go further down is something um, um, to celebrate to some extent. Of course, I'm not saying that they do not deserve to, move forward. I mean, they have the capacity, they have all it takes, they have the quality of players that can really, move the country forward to 20th and then 10th. Before you know, they can be in the top 5 in the world. I mean, something that is very much possible. But they have also retained, their position in Africa, being the first. So that's something to really cheer about, because of course we know, how much they've been playing, even though they didn't really record good performance in the Olympics in France. But they are, we are usually proud of them. In tournaments, we've seen them progress, we've seen them win trophies and all of that. So congratulations to them for at least remaining the top ranked women's football team in Africa. But then there's a lot that can be improved upon. So moving forward, a former Super Eagles goalkeeper, he's known as Ida Peterside, recently actually opened up on his harrowing personal challenges. The personal challenges that he faced off the pitch after hanging his boots back in 2002, and his wife, left him. He spoke about the challenges that he had after his wife actually left him and left the marriage. Peterside actually played for clubs like, Enyimba, Sharks United, and then Heartland of FC, and then he actually also played in South Africa. So in a post, he said, "I almost killed myself after my ex-wife left me. The shame was too much. I had just started a church. Only God saved me through. I look back today and I'm very grateful to God." Of course, he's grateful to God that he didn't take his life, because that's one thing that some people would consider, after getting into this kind of situation. But he's thanking God that he didn't have to take his life. We have as a concerned update today. So as usual, I want you to share your thoughts on the comment section. What do you have to say about the fact that we have a new striker in Uche who can confidently rival Victor Osimhen, as far as I'm concerned? Do you see him getting a chance to actually play for the Super Eagles? What do you have to say about the fact that the Minister of Sports is actually considering Samson Sisia to take over the reins of leadership in Super Eagles? You can also react to the current FIFA ranking that leaves Nigeria Super Falcons in that 6th position in the world, and then of course having them retain their position in Africa. You can also talk about the fact that Ida Peterside, the former goalkeeper of the Super Eagles, recently opened up about the fact that he almost took his life after his wife left him, after he hung his boots back in 2000. You can also talk about the fact that the Premier League season has started. What are your expectations for this season? Who do you see winning the EPL? Do you think Manchester United would win it? Because it's looking like the club is very serious. They are in for business. Or do you see Man City winning it again and then making it look like there are no clubs in England? Or do you see Arsenal winning it? What are the clubs that you see finishing in the top 4 in this Premier League season? Thank you very much for watching. As always, bye for now.